Today we are teaching you how to throw a cast net. This is a 12-foot, quarter-inch mesh. I'm not sure how much it weighs or the rate at which it sinks, but this would be a good net for smaller bait because it's a quarter-inch mesh, so the diameter of the hole. First thing we want to do is just make nice, even coils. If your coils aren't even, then chances are they're going to get hung up and they're going to create a knot when you do throw the net. Then you're going to pull the net all the way back. Make sure that everything's straight and orderly. You want to walk down. Make sure that all your leads are in line and that nothing's hung up or any snags. If you do throw with a snag, chances are it's not going to open up to be a perfect pancake. It's just going to land kind of in a clump, or it will have a whole circle except for a flat side on one piece of it because there was that knot. So then what I prefer to do is I prefer to let this piece of the net dangle down to the same length here. Make sure not to go down any further, because if it does go down further, chances are that it will come down and throw and get caught up underneath the legs. If it gets caught up underneath the legs, you're pretty much doing your throw and scare the bait. Today we're not throwing on any bait. This is just for demonstration. So then we're going to make another loop at your waistband, right around your hip, wherever your pants are playing. And then from here you're going to divvy out around 25%. And then this is going to come from here. It's going to go under your arm, up, and it's going to lay on top of your shoulder. And it's a little confusing, but once you do get it, it's quite easy to understand what to do. And then on the inside of here, there's an inner lead line, and then there's an outer lead line. Inner lead line, you're going to want to move up and over your shoulder so it opens better. If you were to leave it all pumped up, it still would open, but there's not as much chance that it would open to a perfect circle. And then from here, you're going to travel it down on the inside, and then you're just going to divvy it out, spread it out however you'd like. See right there, there's a little hang up. You got to make sure to get that out of there, or else your net is going to not lay out perfectly smooth like it should when you throw. So you're going to take the rest of your leads and divide them up around to be half of what's left you want in your right hand. Now I'm a righty, so if you're a lefty you have to do the opposite, and it's a little bit harder from this video to understand because everything's inverse. And with a righty load, you load your coils and whatnot in your left hand. And so then what I prefer to do, a lot of people maybe stick it under their pinky finger or grab all of everything at once. I prefer to pinch this between my thumb and index finger, and then between the other lines, grab the rest of the net. And that lets you hold on to this last piece until the very end so that you can ensure that the whole net opens up instead of just one clump at the end that's coming out of your hand. Now, in order to get this thing to open up, you're going to have to gain momentum. You can have a swing. Some people prefer to swing it. Some people prefer to give it a good solid spin. But the whole goal is to just make sure that these leads move away from your body and gain momentum. You want to continue the momentum in the air. If they don't continue the momentum, then you're going to get a banana, anything that's pretty much just not a nice perfect circle. And it won't be a perfect circle every time if you don't hold on to this or if you don't get yourself enough momentum. So if you were to just throw valve or both decks, say center console, and you don't have an area to step up on a platform, you're going to have to just stand and hope you can get enough momentum from here and throw all the way out. Now if you're on a flats boat or a skiff, some sort of a low gunnel, and it's not really an issue if you spin, you have the room to, you can give it a good spin and release. So when you do this, say I were to be on a flats boat and I was going to give it a good spin, I'd make sure that nothing slips off of my shoulder, that everything's nice and tight, and that this is sufficiently off the ground. If not, it'll drag and it'll get all stuck up and pretty much just throw and scare the bait again. So what you're going to do is you're going to know where you want to throw. Say I want to throw straight to the middle of the canal here. You're going to know where you want to throw. Give yourself a nice solid spin. Alright, and then let go. As long as you follow those steps, you should get a nice perfect circle. And like I said though, it might be a little bit harder for you to follow those steps if you are a lefty, because yet again everything's inverse, so you're gonna have to try and figure that one out. I can't do that comfortably and give you the right information on what to do. I'll probably end up screwing that up somehow. Anyway, that's the way you load it. Even Kevin can load it, being a little bit smaller. This is a 12-foot net, so it is a little bit much to hold in the hand. Anyone who has small hands, it's a little bit harder because even one wrap does this, and then you're holding all the line and the rope and whatnot, so it can be a little bit harder for anyone with smaller hands or a little bit shorter, especially with a larger net, but this, in theory, should work for any net that you have. Go try it out.